Welcome back. Our guest in this segment is none other than Ken Hill from the Wrestling Kennection.
Now I get it.
Took us a while. We're old. We're old. So Ken has been doing the Wrestling Kennection for a while now, and you're about to celebrate your...
My 100th episode.
This is it?
No, this isn't it. It will be.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
coming up in late January, we'll be having our 100th episode, which will mark that we've been doing the show for approximately 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
great.
just outstanding. That is just outstanding. So have you been a wrestling fan all your life, Ken?
I've been a wrestling fan since I was 13 years old. The first pay-per-view I ever saw was WrestleMania 17 in Houston Astrodome in Houston, Texas. And I mean, I saw Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. I saw the tables, ladders, and chairs match. I mean, Triple H versus The Undertaker, and I was sold.
The Rock, forgive me, The Rock is cute.
So you know all that, Julie?
I know The Rock is
well,
weird.
my girlfriend Angela feels the same way. So it's a constant fight for her affection.
You are too, so there you go. There you go. So this is very exciting, and it's a program that has been produced at Bedford Television for more than 2 years.
Yes.
And
when's it on?
It's on every Friday at 4 p.m. It's typically a half-hour program where essentially we go over all the happenings going on, mostly in World Wrestling Entertainment. We break down the show, such as Raw and SmackDown, occasionally the developmental program, NXT. We have like little smaller segments like Ken's Den, where I call out a particular aspect of WWE or a certain wrestler or management figure,
Yeah.
or just the wrestling industry in general. I mean, we have several segments where we talk about the history of professional wrestling. We in our early months, we had segments where we actually went so far as to demonstrate professional wrestling moves.
throw that man down.
Really? Really? Right here on this floor?
Well, not on this floor. Like we would do, like my former co-host Zach Martinez. Hi, Zach. He and I would demonstrate certain wrestling moves such as the choke slam, the body slam, the big boot.
Really?
We did. Of course, we assured them that we were semi-professionals, and of course, not to try this at home. Not that would stop anyone from actually trying.
Well, there is all that.
So wait a minute. So right on here or in the gym?
Well, yeah, here up on the
Upstairs?
third.
So you're doing a rollover and a wham down?
Pretty much.
Oh man, it's funny. You know,
You're going to have to start.
I'm gonna have to start
watching
watching cable TV in Bedford.
Well,
Oh,
or you can watch it on YouTube. Ken's program has all of the episodes up on YouTube on the Bedford TV
Actually,
channel.
we do have it on the Bedford TV channel. We actually all have our own channel, the Wrestling Kennection, on YouTube. Just type in Wrestling Kennection; it'll come right up. We all have all of our past and present episodes. We have the specials. We have the 1 year special, the one year anniversary. I mean, there's a lot to check out. I mean, it's a weekly program. If you missed Raw and SmackDown, it's a great way to catch up on what you missed.
So Ken, how did you conjure this up? Did you always want to have a wrestling program, or did you just come to Bedford TV and say, "This is something we ought to be doing"?
I mean, the idea did come to me. I mean, honestly, it was more the latter. It just. I mean, I'd done a little internet blogging. I mean, never really went anywhere. But then the idea just came to me that I'd rather be doing it on a more public forum rather than just, being like an anonymous figure on the internet, like the millions of bloggers out there. No offense to any fans who are, of course, internet bloggers. But I can't. I mean, Brian was actually a regular in Brugger's, where I've been working for the last couple of years. I mean, I brought up the idea to him. He seemed to be all gung ho for it. So was I. And then we just got started, and from the first show on, it was basically magic. He, Brian, myself, Zach, and Greg, we had a great dichotomy behind the scenes and in front of the camera. It was so wonderful getting to talk about my passion for professional wrestling each and every week.
But actually, right in front of the camera, you grew to become a real professional in this
Yeah,
field.
I'll be
That's
on. I'll be
incredible.
honest. I mean, I was actually talking to you about this a little earlier, before we went on the air. That I used to do filming for Bedford High football under the tutelage
did
of,
mention that.
of
Yeah.
Coach
Yeah.
Jack Belcher. Hi, Jack. And something I said early in my time on the Wrestling Connection is that 7 years of filming does not being behind camera does not prepare you for 30 minutes in
Running your own. Well, you're running your own show.
It took admittedly it took me a while before I really got used to it. Like I said, the term is the lay of the land, where I really became more comfortable with
Well, you seem very comfortable now, but that's after 2 and some years.
Yeah, well, I get this too. I mean, Julie runs the whole show. She does a good job, and I'm
Not
so
true.
new at it, and I'll never get like you.
Oh.
Cut it down.
Oh no, please! I'm sure you'll get there someday.
Yeah, but I'm the slow learner.
Not true, not true. So what have been the highlights, Ken, over the years you've done Bedford Wrestling Connection?
I mean, the highlights have just been like, okay, when we've had, of course, the round tables where we have the called the pay-per previews, where essentially like we break down the pay-per-views, we make predictions and analysis for each of the matches. I mean, it's so much fun because where we really get to talk shop about professional wrestling. We get to talk about the storylines. We get to talk about where we feel like things are going to go from this point, or if this is the final match, or if this is where it all comes to a head. It's so good because we get to talk about how well the storylines were built up, whether we think there's going to be a big payoff with these matches. I mean, it's so fun just breaking all of it down.
What's the viewership of the wrestling in this
The
area?
viewership. I mean, it's kind of spotty because I mean, it's YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we usually
Well, that's YouTube of viewers, but the regular pay-per-view thing, is that?
the pay-per preview. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that, and of course the breakdown following it,
Right.
the pay-per review,
There-
and
But then just do a lot of people watch wrestling,
We
period,
do,
on
'cause-
regular
'cause-
television?
on regular television. Oh, yeah. I mean, they get millions of viewers.
Really?
I mean,
Just not us. We're the only two who
just-
don't.
I think so,
probably.
yeah.
I mean, it does fluctuate. I mean, of course, I mean, depending on the seasons. I mean, wrestling in general has a hard time matching up with, say, Monday Night Raw has a hard time matching up with Monday Night Football and other big league sports.
Well,
or
yeah, if the Patriots are playing.
or of course, yeah, if the Pats are playing, or major reality shows, or like if a certain big time show on Monday has a season or series finale coming up. I mean, they really have to go. It's not like in the old days where WWE used to compete with World Championship Wrestling. Okay, it's got a
Yeah.
whole slew of entertainment and media outlets that they need to compete against to get better ratings, and it's always touch and go. I mean,
I remember as a kid, there was like Argentina Rocca, there was some other, there's a
I
bunch of
remember
those-
Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George and Killer Kowalski.
oh, Killer Kowalski, he was
Yeah.
the quintessential heel. I mean,
He lived right near
Heel?
here.
I know. He the bad guy. He was
Oh,
quintessential
okay.
bad guy. He
Yeah.
was grisly. He was
was
hard.
really a
he was
nice
hard
guy.
hitting. I mean, and off screen, yeah, he was nicest guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and he instructed and he taught a number of future Hall of Famers and greats and legends such as Triple H. I mean,
Really?
yes.
But didn't he live in Somerville or somewhere?
Yeah, he did. I mean, another fun little fact is that my great uncle's cousin was actually the Golden Greek Jim Londas. He wrestled he was one of the greatest wrestlers during the Depression, the Great Depression era. And
So you have a family connection.
yes, I have a family connection to professional wrestling. A faint one, but it's
That's still
it's
cousins
there.
are cousins.
Cousins are cousins.
Yeah.
North or south.
There you go. Oh, that's wonderful. So these are real historic people, the people that Ralph and I remember from our childhoods. But who's the up and coming best wrestler now? Who should we be watching?
I mean, there are a lot actually. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the NXT program that WWE and Triple H developed, was to cultivate the next generation NXT next
There you go. Makes
generation
perfect
of superstars. I mean, you have plenty of international greats like Sami Zayn from up in Canada, Samoa Joe from, of course, Samoa, Kevin Owens, Great Britain's Neville. I mean, you have, and of course, you even have here from Seattle, Washington, Daniel Bryan. I mean, you had some former greats like CM Punk and Boston's own John Cena. I mean, he's.
Oh, that's right. He's in the movies now.
Yeah, he's in the movies now.
Really?
And
Yeah,
even,
and he's cute too. And he was on Jimmy Fallon the other night, and I was like, whoa, I've never
Good thing
heard
we
of
got
him before.
Julia here.
I know. So I mean, I have a lot of favorites. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really hard to pin one down that I could really see being the absolute cornerstone of professional wrestling.
Those guys, when they're really doing that wrestling, they get hurt.
No, I mean, people who talk to me, and the first thing they'll say to me, literally, is that, oh, it's fake. I know it's fake, but the risks they take aren't. I mean, you're taking bumps every single day. And you could take a simple bump from a punch or a kick, and you could hit the back of your head. You could have a concussion. It's that easy.
It's literally a choreographed athletic
it's
event. It's like Dancing with the Stars.
It's not ballet, but at the
Yep.
same time it is,
Yeah.
because you have to practice, you have to choreograph, you have to get the match down to an absolute science.
Yeah.
Well, and
'cause-
timing too, because of television.
Because if you miss one move, it throws off the whole flow of the match. and you lose the audience.
Do they rehearse the thing beforehand? Is it,
Oh no, yeah, they rehearse. They go through the matches. They rehearse the bumps and like you said,
Yeah.
the timing of like certain moves in certain spots, whether they're coming off of the top rope,
Yeah.
or they're springing off from somewhere, or they're diving to the outside. You have to have the timing absolutely down, because one mistake, I mean, you could end up with torn muscles,
Yeah.
broken bones. I mean, you could end up busting yourself open. I mean,
So
there's
the skill is there.
exactly, even in small matches that don't go more than a couple minutes, it just takes one mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the grudges that you see, or that I've seen, I guess, on professional wrestling, where people come back.
Right.
Well, that was what Killer Kowalski was a mean guy.
Yeah, no, that was
yeah.
one of the first photos I saw of him, was
Yeah.
going like this, and I mean, that kind of when you see photos like that, it really establishes like the moments in wrestling that you'll just remember.
I met him at a Rotary meeting. He was the nicest, calmest, quietest guy and everything. Big, but this little
I know,
guy.
actually. I mean, I actually met former Olympian and WWE champion Kurt Angle
Yeah.
when I was first getting into wrestling, and it was such an honor meeting to him. I mean, I was starstruck. I mean, my girlfriend Angela actually at one point met Roddy Piper. Sadly, before he
died just recently.
he passed away. He passed away recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so surreal seeing your heroes up close.
Well, you have become one of my heroes, Ken. I
Yeah.
think what you're doing is just outstanding.
Yeah.
100 episodes in the end of January, first part of February.
It's going to be cool to watch.
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Can we come and be an
We're
audience?
going to try and make it as big and grand as possible. I mean, I've been trying. I've been going all online. I've been trying to find anyone within the realm of professional wrestling, anyone of note who would like to come on and be interviewed. Because we've talked for so long on the show about having an actual professional wrestler on here who could give us really the inside scoop on professional wrestling, like what really goes on behind the scenes.
Well, let's see what Santa Claus has in her basket.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be wonderful for the 100th episode to have a living, breathing professional wrestler on the show.
Let's
This
see
would
what
be
we can do.
Ken and I, prior to this, were chatting about our days at Bedford High School, having been both Bedford High graduates.
Aha,
And-
okay.
And we got, as a kid, we used to watch professional wrestling too on TV. But as part of the gym curriculum, they actually had a month of wrestling. We learned the takedowns and the escapes and the twists
And
and
the
all that.
Bedford wrestling season has just begun.
Is there a
So-
wrestling team? Well, that's
Yeah,
my
there
question.
is.
Is there?
I mean, I actually do film work for Bedford TV
Yeah.
as a sideline, and one of the things I found out is that they are as part of the new
upcoming
budget. The budget includes a wrestling team. They already have.
All
the,
right.
They
They
already
got
have
the
the,
kids
already
that
have the
doing it?
mats.
Oh,
They
good.
I
had,
mean,
they had their first match the other day. It was
Yeah.
on Twitter. Anyway, we have to end now
Oh, gee, that's too bad.
because we've taken up all of our time. But there is more to come. You want to watch and in between too, but especially the 100th episode of the Wrestling Kennection on Bedford TV. Ken, thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
us.
Thank you very
This
much.
is
This
cool.
was wonderful fun. We'll be back.